Quickly mentioning, if you are going to order any Moza products, including a Moza R3 or R12, whatever else, there's a link down below to commission link. I swapped out this Moza R12 for this Moza R3 nearly 6 months ago after dailying the Moza R12 for a really long time, and I think you might be surprised what I have to say about it. In that amount of time, I've done tons of different driving with tons of different wheels, from F1 racing with my FSR2 wheel, to trucking and even drifting with my Moza TSW huge trucking wheel, and most commonly doing just casual driving, drifting, and racing using my Moza RS wheel. And when I post videos of this setup, an R3 with any of these wheels, people always ask, isn't this wheel too heavy for a 3 Newton meter direct drive wheelbase? And I've been pretty surprised. Even with this heavy wheel on my wheelbase, the 3.9 Newton meters that the R3 makes has been shockingly enough. You would think that after being used to an R12 that I would have gotten sick of it pretty quick like, but as you can see, the R3 does pretty darn good. Even when it comes to a game like BeamNG, which is known for having too light of force feedback for sim drifting, the R3 does a pretty good job at self-correcting when it comes to drifting, even on BeamNG, which is one of the hardest games to drift, and just known for having too light of force feedback with modded cars and just feeling incorrect in general. I may possibly be running 500% force feedback in BeamNG settings and 90% in the Moza app. Like I said before, the R3 makes 3.9 Newton meters of force feedback. On paper, doesn't sound like a lot of power, especially when you start comparing it to like Thrustmaster and Logitech numbers. It isn't that much higher, but as you can see, with a giant trucking wheel on, playing on Assetto Corsa, doing some drifting with the sim trucking wheel, it really is enough power to get the job done. Sure, I might be running 100% force feedback right now. I run 100% force feedback on this wheel for literally hours on end while live streaming. By the way, if my profile picture is blinking red, you can tap into a live stream right now. This is an entry-level wheel. It's an entry-level price bracket, and for any entry-level player, they're probably not gonna notice force feedback clipping. Using this R3 daily for almost 6 months after using a Moza R12 for many months. And whether I'm doing F1 racing, GT3 racing, street drifting, or Formula Drift, for the most part, the R3 has me handled. And keep in mind, I ran a Moza R9 for years before getting the Moza R12, and then used the Moza R12 for probably almost a year as well. So I got very used to having a lot of force feedback, and especially when it comes to F1 racing, it's nice to have every bit of that force feedback. And that's the only time that I recommend going for an R5 over an R3, is if you plan on doing, what's going on here? What's going on here? If you plan on doing a lot of F1 racing, a lot of GT3 racing, a lot of track racing, there's a chance you want to go for a little bigger wheelbase. By no means do you need it. By no means does it make you a better driver. But it does up the immersion, and a lot of sim racing does revolve around immersion. It's how much it makes it feel like you're just locked into the game in the car in real life. For racing, that's the one time that I really start to feel like I wish I had just a couple more Newton meters. The whole point of this video is to be able to show you guys that an R3 can do it all, and it's really all you need to get started in sim racing, and honestly to last you forever in sim racing. This is just such a silly setup though. The $800 wheel on like a few $100 wheelbase is definitely a rage bait material. So am I here to tell you that the R3 is better or just as good as the Moza R12? No, absolutely not. Of course not. But what I am here to tell you, don't get caught up in the numbers. If you're new into sim racing, if you've never had a sim racing wheel before, don't buy a Logitech, don't buy a Thrustmaster. It's 2025. Those things are well in the past. For almost the same price, you can get a direct drive wheel that has a normal quick release on it and plenty of force feedback. And I know, comparing a Moza R3 to a Moza R12 seems really silly on paper, and it seems like kind of a pointless YouTube video. But the point is, I know how easy it is to get stuck in the rabbit hole when you're new into sim racing. If you're just starting to look into all this, it starts to snowball. Just like a bunch of other techie hobbies, it starts with, I have a couple $100s to throw at sim racing. I'm curious, I just want to get my feet wet. I want to see if it's even for me or if I like it. And the more you look at equipment, the more videos you watch, the more purist and perfectionist people that you see making videos saying, I would never buy a wheel with less than 5 Newton meters. You need the DD2. Forget that. For a few $100s, you can have a direct drive wheel that has a quick release, has all the juice that you need to do the sim racing that you want to do, and be able to have plenty of fun no matter what kind of sim racing, sim drifting, sim driving that you're trying to do on your sim rig. If the price difference from a Moza R3 to a Moza R5 to a Moza R9 to whatever other bases you've been looking at is going to keep you out of sim racing for another year, saving up, trying to justify spending $1,000 on a full sim setup, don't trip. Buy a Moza R3, especially if it's your first wheel ever. It'll be a great thing to get your feet in the water, and there's a good chance that once you start using it, you won't want to upgrade for quite a long time. Do not buy a Logitech or Thrustmaster. It's 2025. This thing is like the same price. And yes, this thing is uncomparable to a Logitech or Thrustmaster. Sure, you can look at the numbers on paper and say it's only 1.5 Newton meters more. Entirely different scenario. I've had Thrustmaster TMX and a Thrustmaster TX. Neither of them were even remotely similar to how this R3 feels. No hate on you if you already have a Thrustmaster or a Logitech. They are great wheelbases, but in 2025, to spend $350 on one of those plastic units when you can get a direct drive unit from a reputable sim racing brand like Moza, it just does not make sense. So I think a great way to summarize this video and to give you guys my true perspective on it is to be honest with you guys and tell you I didn't take off my Moza R12 for a science experiment. I didn't switch back to my R3 voluntarily just to see how I'd like it after getting used to the Moza R12. I broke my Moza R12 while setting up the sim rig one day, and I emailed Moza about it. Moza, of course, were quick to email back and offer sending me a new unit. And somehow 6 months have went by, and I have not been eager to get Moza a new shipping address. As you guys see, I live in my van. I'm traveling full time, so getting an address, getting packages shipped to me can be pretty difficult at times. And to be honest, I could have definitely found an address sooner than now, but I really haven't had the draw to. I haven't had the push to. This thing has somehow, some way, completely satisfied me. And keep in mind, I sim race on average for 2 to 8 hours a day. I live stream here on YouTube every single day doing sim racing, sim drifting, sim driving inside the van. And you would think a guy like me would get sick of a Moza R3 pretty quick. Time to time, I wish I had a little more force feedback. Time to time, I worry about my R3 getting a little bit too warm, as it does get hot running 100% force feedback for hours on end. My final thoughts on the Moza R3, this little wheelbase right here, is it's an absolutely killer entry-level wheel. There is no better beginner wheel for the bang for buck, in my own opinion. And even if you have a Thrustmaster or Logitech, this would be a great upgrade for you. I do suggest going a little bit bigger. If you go to a Moza R5, you'll probably last longer on that, coming from a Logitech or Thrustmaster. This is a huge upgrade, do not get me wrong. You will feel the power difference, you will feel the power direct drive. But if you already have an entry-level wheelbase and you're looking to upgrade, the saying buy once, cry once is very applicable here. I think if you've already spent hours on your Logitech or Thrustmaster, you found love for the game, you know you're going to keep sim racing for a while, maybe consider going for something bigger, whether it's the Moza R5, R9, or even if you really want to dive in deep, the R12. I promise if you buy the R12, there's almost no chance you'll ever want to upgrade from it, in my own personal opinion. I know some people do upgrade from R12s. I don't see how you could want to. This thing at 100% force feedback is all the power that I'll ever need. Maybe if I keep putting on weight and hitting the gym, then maybe eventually, but for now, the R12 was plenty enough for me. If you want to see a more applicable comparison video, you can check out my Moza R12 versus Moza R9 video on my channel. I'll put a little link for it up in the top corner somewhere here, and just hit the subscribe button because I have a video coming soon of a Moza R12 V2 versus the Moza R12 V1 to see the difference between the new versus old R12. So keep your eye out for that, and also check out our live streams. We're live here every day on the YouTube. Consider looking at my merch. There's a link down in the description. Lots of race-inspired designs that I made myself. And once again, if you're going to order anything Moza or Next Level Racing, there'll be commissioned links in the description. It doesn't cost you guys any more money, but it helps me out by showing these companies that I'm out here talking about their products. Anyways, I am Dan. This is my gaming van. Drop a sub to see more content coming from me around sim racing hardware, reviews, products, tips and trips, tricks and tips for live streams every day. Stop in one. Let me know if you saw this video on your feed and use my links. Peace.